Assalamualaikum dan hai semua. Saya Nurul Nafisatul Ilmi akan mengulas buku yang bertajuk Memeluk Gerhana. Memeluk Gerhana ditulis oleh penulis yang bernama Kamari. Kamari juga merupakan penerima CEA Red Award pada tahun 2006. Jadi, buku ini mengisahkan tentang seorang pemuda yang bernama Ilham yang hanyalah seorang anak kampung tawakal dan sehingga menjadi pelajar di Raffles Institution dan juga tahanan di Jabatan Keselamatan dalam negeri. Jadi, apa yang menarik saya untuk membaca buku ini adalah kata-kata yang terdapat di muka hadapan buku ini, iaitu hendaklah engkau menjadi orang yang besar yang sanggup memikul cinta yang besar. Pada pendapat saya, maksud di sebalik buku ini adalah untuk menjadi pemimpin yang bertanggungjawab dan amanah. Kita hendaklah mencintai tugas tersebut kerana ianya akan memberi impak yang besar terhadap tugasan dan prestasi kita dalam pekerjaan tersebut. Jadi, pada pendapat saya, buku ini dapat memberi input yang sangat baik dan besar untuk semua orang. Jadi, jika anda ingin mencari buku yang dapat memberi input yang baik dan memberi manfaat, bolehlah cari di Perpustakaan Kolej Tunku Kusra. Sekian, terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning I bid to all. I am Ilham Imani from 3T House City Zawiyah, and today I will be presenting my book review. Now, the book that I am holding here today is a book that I am sure many of you are familiar with, but if you're not, then it's fine, and I will introduce it to you. Now, this book is well known for highlighting the small joys of childhood, growing up, loss, and falling in love. And that book is Little Women by Louisa Alcott. Now, the first volume of this book was published in 1868. However, the version that I am holding here with me today was published in 2001. It has 141 pages and was published by Trident Press International. Now, before I dive into the book itself, let me introduce you to the author, Louisa Alcott. Louisa Alcott was an American novelist, short story writer, and poet. And although she was a very talented writer and a lot of her books were very successful, she did not win any awards. And that is not because lack of talent. That is because back in the day, there weren't that many awards given for writing. However, now in the modern day, she is very appreciated and her works are still very, very famous. Now, moving on to the book itself, Little Women follows the story of four sisters, the March sisters, Jo, Meg, Amy, and Beth. Now, we follow them through their journey of trying to cope with childhood and growing up while still trying to negotiate the troubles of adulthood, including marriage and independence. Now, there are so many things to love about this book, mainly the togetherness and the bond between the sisters. However, I will be highlighting the main reason why I love this book and why I think you should read it too, coming from a student and as a girl. Now, what I love most about this book is how distinct the characters of the four girls are. They all have different ideals, different passions, and although they fight and they argue and they rail against their poverty and their hardships, they still stick together. And they show us that no matter what your interests are and no matter where your priorities lie, the importance is finding out what you want and what your passions are and sticking to it. For example, Beth, she is really into music. She is a musician, and although her days were very short and she died very, very early at a very young age, she still manages to use the time that she has into practicing piano. And Meg, who is not much of a creative person, spends time learning how to cook and keep house. Domestic arts, they are very challenging in their own right. And Amy, who is willing to put aside her vain obsession with her appearance in order to practice painting. And Jo, who is, based on the author itself, Louisa Alcott, she is a writer and spends most of her time scribbling, and we see her journey as a writer throughout the whole book, as she is the main protagonist. Now, they show us that no matter what other people say you should do, what matters most is what you want and where your passions lie. And we should always follow our dreams, and we should not always succumb to the expectations of the society and our parents. And while we should always contribute to be a better human to the country, we should still consider what we want as a human being. Now, I will end my speech with a quote from the book: "Be worthy of love and love will come to you." That is all from me, and with that, I thank you.